What's up, book nerds? Today I want to talk about standalones. We all love our fantasy series. We love our 13 book series and waiting for the next one to come out, but we also love standalones. So today I want to talk about my favorite standalone. This is, in no particular order, my top 10. Starting with number 10, Good Omens, Neil Gaiman, and Terry Pratchett. Good Omens is a fantastic story about an angel and a demon and their friendship over the ages. It is a great standalone fantasy book. Neil Gaiman is known for his standalones. He's known for his humor. He's known for writing amazing novels. Check it out, Good Omens. Number 9, The Hobbit. Tolkien. The Hobbit was the first fantasy book. It was the first world like that. It is the start of the Shire. The Hobbit, you have to read it. Read it for the masterful world building. The world building is spectacular. Number 8, Jacoby. Imagine Sherlock Holmes meets a bunch of vampires. That's Jacoby. It's a fun, short, standalone fantasy book. Number 8, Servant of the Bones, Anne Rice. Servant of the Bones is not a witch, it's not vampires. It's a standalone book that Anne Rice did, which is spectacular. It's ancient times about a guy who is sacrificed to his gods, like burying him in gold. They kill him and he becomes immortal, and it's about his walking through the ages of time. It's really cool. Okay, number 6, Long May She Reign. It's about this royal family and this girl who is like 16th in line to become queen. She has no eyes on the throne because she's 16th in line. This horrible event happens, her whole family is killed, and suddenly she is queen. So the book is about her trying to learn how to be a ruler, but at the same time figure out who killed her family. It's a really good story. It's a really good character driven story. Standalone, Long May She Reign, fantastic. Okay, number 5, Sword of Kaigan. This is a fantastic book, and I wish she would write some more. This was great story. There's great characters. It's a modern fantasy story built around like Japan, the little islands of Japan, and it's a war, it's a siege, and it's this mother who has like this great backstory. She used to be this great like rebellious teenager, and she fought in street battles and all these things, and then she got married off to a horrible person who was very abusive, and she had to just be an obedient wife. But then a war broke out and she had to protect her family. And suddenly they find out what an amazing fighter she actually is. Great book, so much fun to read. Number 4, The Nameless Queen. It's a non romantic type of fantasy book. Lowborn becomes highborn, very typical. It is one of those fantasy tropes that's been done to death. This one does it pretty good. There are books that are just like when you hit that old YA trope, it just gets so old and reused and reused. But this one does a good job. Number 3, Night Circus. Night Circus is a very slight magic system. It's like Caraval in that way, and it's just a very fun standalone book. Okay, number 2, The Queens of Lear. This is a King Lear retelling through the view of 3 sisters. It's very well written. It's got some good points of history, and it's very fun to read. Clunky sometimes. It can be a little clunky, but it's still very enjoyable. And number 1 happens to be my personal favorite, Warbreaker, Brandon Sanderson. This is a great book. It's about a sister who is married off to the ruler of a rival nation, happens to be a god. She is married off to this person. She's not allowed to talk to him. He has his tongue cut out, and she finds out the history of why he is the way he is. And the magic system alone is fantastic. One of my favorite Brandon Sanderson magic systems. Most people love Mistborn and Stormlight, but the Warbreaker magic system is fantastic about breath. Everybody has a certain amount of breath, and the breaths have power, it has life, and you could breathe out into objects and bring them to life. It's very fun, a very unique magic system. Highly recommend it. That's my list. Read fantasy.